expensive.
Okay.
Unless you rein yourself in a little bit.
So, can we talk about what you do for a living?
We can.
Yeah, okay. And can we talk about how you've managed to... Because it's an expensive hobby. Let's not get away from the fact. So if there's anybody new watching this video, you know, don't get deluded. Don't think it's not expensive, because it is a very, very expensive hobby. Now, obviously, people who's obviously followed my channel know what I do. You know, I earn an average salary. I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. So what do you do, Jack? And how are you able to afford these sunglasses, mate?
So in terms of jobs, my title is a psychological wellbeing practitioner. So psychological therapy essentially is what I do.
Yeah.
So it's low intensity therapy with people with common mental health issues, anxiety, depression, OCD, those kind of things, which, as we all know, is not a particularly well-paid job whatsoever. No. Especially for me, I've changed jobs relatively recently. I used to work within drug and alcohol services, moved across to one, and actually took a step back in pay. The way I've afforded this over the years is being, one, patient. You have to be patient in this game. You can't.
God,
if you had all the money in the world, you could go and get all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Bar a couple. There's a couple that are very, very rare, and you can't just pick it up whenever you want. Yeah. But you could, you know, if you had all the money, you can go and get this collection in a week or so.
Yeah.
If you
but then sucks all the excitement out of it.
Exactly. Yeah. But you're going to pay the money.
Yeah.
People are on the internet, on eBay, on those kind of places, and they are selling these models.
Yeah.
But they're 5 times the price you want to pay.
Yeah.
5 times the price you could pay.
Yeah.
So for me, I've been lucky. I've bought pairs cheap. Like I said, I know when to pay more. Having contacts, you know, the Ray-Ban world is not a massive world, but there is a fair few of us out there. So having contacts, knowing who to buy from, knowing when to buy, knowing how to make deals with other people is part of it.
Yeah.
But on the whole, it's about that patience. I think it's about knowing when I can pay that little bit out and I'll go for it. Plus also, I know you, Nigel, you find it slightly more difficult, but I do buy and sell. You know, not a huge amount, not by any means a sort of pure dealer or anything like that, but I do buy and sell. If I pick up a pair that I know I've already got, or it's a 62 and I'm not going to keep it, or something like that, I'll buy it cheap, sell it back on. That can afford you to purchase more of these models.
Yeah. Like so pretty much like any other collection, it's, you know, and sometimes you have to think about also, are you prepared to sell on maybe a very nice piece to purchase the piece above? You know, so you're prepared to actually lose a piece out of your collection to improve the collection overall. You know, and as we were talking earlier, for me, I can't do that. It's very difficult for me to sell. But for you, you know, you're able to do that.
You know, if I know I can get a pair that's better, a bit more detail to it, a bit better condition or something like that, if I've already got it, I can ship it back off, you know. Yeah. So and plus I've done this for what, 11, 12 years or something. Yeah. And I haven't got by any means the biggest collection in the world.
No, absolutely not. It's a very distinct collection.
Yeah. So I have spread it out.
Yeah.
But there are times when you're spending a shitload of money, and you do have to take a think. You go, can I afford this?
Absolutely.
I do say, like we were saying earlier, I instead of putting money in the bank, I buy these. Yeah. It's an investment.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd never really pay market value for the majority of the stuff. Yeah. So what I've bought or what I've invested into it, I know I can make money out of in the long run eventually one day. So it's a hobby, and it's a collection that I enjoy, but I don't go beyond my means.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one thing we must stress is don't get into debt with this whatsoever. You know, live within your means, because it's not worth putting yourself under all of that financial pressure, especially when you have responsibilities, i.e. like children, or a mortgage, or even rent. You know, you've got to eat as well, you know what I mean? So, you know, you either save or you buy and sell to be able to afford the next one?
Make those contacts, learn about it, because people will point you in directions. People will give you a good deal here and there.
Absolutely.
People will tell you what the value is. You know, somebody's going to look at something and go, "Oh, it's advertised as a 50th anniversary model, and it's the General and all this kind of stuff," and they're going to be advertising it for 600 quid or something like that, and you're going to go, "Great, awesome, that sounds amazing." Talk to people about it, because they're going to go, "No, it's not worth that. It's not worth anywhere near that kind of money."
Absolutely.
But yeah, it can get silly.
Yeah.
Just don't let it get silly. That's the point.
Okay, so what's the next one? Thanks for that. What's the
what do you reckon?
Okay, so it's a cowhide.
Cowhide.
So it's something decent again. I couldn't even fucking say I'm shit with cases.
Well, you know, we were talking about, that's not a good start. What's that? That's our good old friend Luxottica.
Yeah,
that's one of their cloths.
cloth.
We can get rid of that one. We don't need that. But I was saying there's a couple of models that I want in my collection. A couple of models that I'm still hunting for.
Okay. Have we got a General?
We got General, haven't we? So what I was saying earlier, we got Block.
Yeah.
We've got Block 50.
So we've got we've got Block 50 there. And then we have.
And I always quite fancied an Italic 50 in a 58mm, just to kind of join in there.
Yeah, very nice. You've had this model before, obviously.
I have. I've never had a 58 Italic 50.
Oh, okay.
I've had tens of 62s.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a 58mm guy. They're the ones I collect. They're the ones I kind of keep. They're the ones I feel like they suit me better. And yeah, just to complete the set of the Generals, for me, I needed a 58 in the Italic.
They're very nice.
There they are. I mean, again, I paid okay money for these. It wasn't cheap.
What? So let's talk about valuation, because I see a lot of Sunnies going for absolutely ridiculous figures, and I think to myself, who's fucking bought this? Yeah. Somebody who clearly doesn't know what the hell they're doing. So a General RB50, very sought after, probably the single most sought after pair of sunglasses, I would say, that come along, and I say that in the sense that they come along often, and they sell often at the same sort of figure, same sort of valuation. So what would you say is a decent valuation, a lowish valuation, and a high valuation, but in the realms that someone will still buy it?
Yeah. And when we're talking about valuation, the Generals are one of the few pairs that are they fluctuate massively. Yeah. I don't know why. How they're advertised, how they look, whatever it kind of is. For me, again, we've spoken about the fact that there's a couple of different models within it, but for me, I would say good price, £200-ish with the case, if you've got the case.
Condition 8 out of 10.
Yeah. 7, 8 out of 10. Yeah. If you've got maybe a 62, if you've got a decent, case with the no wear on the badge, those kind of things, you're getting more sort of 250-ish. Top price, perfect condition, 300, 350-ish.
And then we're talking about sterling again.
Yeah. Again, but they fluctuate massively. I've seen them go 150.
Yeah.
I've got another pair on the way, which are slightly ruined, but they came with a case.
That's not the one with the fucked up frame, is it? And it's all rusty and oxidated, is it?
It's got an RB50 case.
Okay.
With a gold with the 50 on it.
Yeah.
And it's all still coloured in. All the colour's still there.
Yeah.
I think the lenses are pretty screwed. They advertise them as 5 out of 10 condition.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But they cost me £50. And
silly money.
And a case will sell for £50.
Yes, £50.
So
yeah, absolutely.
They're on the way. So you can get them dirt cheap.
Yeah.
My cheapest pair, one of my biggest bargains I've ever had in my entire life, You actually bought the traditionals off me, and
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember a while back. I got a pair of 62mm Generals, a pair of traditionals style D, I think they were, something like that, together as a buy. Now they cost me £35 together. So you can. People don't know what they're selling.
Did you sell it to me for 35 quid as well?
20.
Oh, was it 20? Was it?
I gave you a very good deal.
Yeah, you did.
So yeah, you can. People, the other thing is with Ray-Bans, a lot of people get them from a granddad and they haven't got a bloody clue what they are. So they'll chuck them online, pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses, off they go. Probably the same as what happened with these.
Yeah.
So you can get some absolute bargains. But the Generals, they fluctuate. Like I said, I think they cost me £200, which is not cheap, but it's not by any means a bad deal whatsoever.
Cool. And what about Diamond Hards? Well, as you've got a pair, what would you say is again a good valuation?
Condition is everything with Diamond Hards.
Yeah.
But they are very, very popular, and they still sell very, very well.
Yeah.
I would say these have got a scratch on them. They're 62mm. They're not the cable arms; they're the paddle temples or paddle tips. They've got a couple of little scratches. I don't know if you can see on there. Yeah. I would say these are worth £200 to £250.
Okay.
Perfect condition, you're looking more £350. You can go up to sort of 400 or so for a perfect condition pair of Diamond Hards, with maybe the tag on there, and with the slip that comes with them, which I've got in my box somewhere. You're looking sort of 450 ish. They're a very, very popular model. Rightly so. I think they're a decent
absolutely
decent pair. But again, they can go cinnamon and they can go very, very cheap.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.